Hey there everyone, hope you're having a good day and I hope you're staying safe and healthy during this time of COVID-19 pandemic. And the subject I'll talk about today is being a musician and making good use of your time during social distancing. And social distancing, for those who don't know, is the latest recommendation from our leading health organization, Centers for Disease and Control, CDC. Please go to their website if you haven't checked it out yet, cdc.com or .gov. And basically what social distancing is staying away from crowds and trying to stay at home as much as possible. And here we have one of my favorite modern guitar players, Buckethead, with his famous nunchucks fighting off the virus. Buckethead has probably practiced a lot and put in his time practicing, and his skills are amazing. What I want to specifically talk about is time during practice, how to divide your time during practice, what's important, what's not. I'll be covering a couple subjects, not the whole thing. I can make tons more videos on that. Plus also time to maintain your guitar a bit. So here's one of my other favorite modern guitar players, Paul Gilbert. He's doing his part to fight off the virus with his terrifying guitar playing. Okay, on to practicing. I think one of the most important things about practicing is not scales. I would say limit your time practicing scales. I know guitarists are really obsessed with scales, and look at me talking about Paul Gilbert and Buckethead. I mean, they fly through scales, and they're known for their terrifying skills burning up the fretboard. But I've been playing guitar for a couple decades, and I've learned that scales serve a purpose, but it's not an end to all means. I think the song is more important. You'll get better response from your crowd playing cool songs versus just running scales up and down the neck. Just running scales up and down the neck grows old pretty fast, even with guitar players who love playing. It's the music that's important, and I think that's the direction Paul Gilbert's going in now. A lot of his performances are song-based and not concentrated on playing scales up and down the neck. I mean, he could play scales like nobody can if he wants to, but I think he's concentrating a lot on the song now, and I agree with that. Songs are more important than technique alone. So do what you do, Paul. You're doing a great job, and you're inspiring a lot of people like me to play guitar and continue playing. It's not an easy instrument to play. And one thing I like about Paul Gilbert is, in some of his advice and teaching videos, is not to stare at your guitar and just look like someone just staring at their guitar, emotionless. Go ahead and express yourself. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's part of a guitar player's attraction, is to show your emotion when you're playing. So go ahead and do pinwheels like Pete Townsend did, and also make faces like Paul Gilbert advises sometimes, and look good when you play too. And going back to scales a bit, I mean, technique is important, but let's concentrate on spending our time more effectively. Now on to guitar gear. With the extra time we have now, it's a good time to get to your gear and start maintaining your instrument, whether it be expensive or not, or whether you have one guitar or 200 guitars. It's a good time to what they call now deep clean. I don't like that word really, because you don't want to put Clorox to your guitar. You want to use cleaners that you've been trusting all along or get good recommendations. And what you want to do is put on a new set of strings, and while you're doing that, you can check your relief and action on the neck board and clean off your fretboard. And your fretboard would be happier when you do that. And I know Paul Gilbert's really he's really up on being in tune, and I agree. He's probably got intonation down like the back of his hand, and I think intonating your guitar is very important too. I mean, not only playing in the first position, but getting up there on the fretboard, staying in tune all throughout the throughout the fretboard is really important. So while you're maintaining your guitar, go ahead and work on your intonation. And for those who use a vibrato bar, yeah, that's a piece of work in itself. I mean, I like it too. I have some guitars that have it and some that don't, but intonating and setting up your vibrato bar is pretty important, so spend some time on that too. Don't ignore that. And also, since you'll be working on your guitar a little bit more, you might want to check new pickups up. I hear a lot of people buy stock guitars, but then they put their own pickups in, which I think is a good idea. I've done it a few times. I've installed some EMGs, active pickups, a long time ago, but I'd like to install some DiMarzios or Duncans on some of my guitars. So this is a good time for me to experiment with those, and I think it's a good time for you guys to experiment. And also, if you have a guitar you wanted to modify, like putting kill switches on, I think Buckethead's kill switch guitar is really cool. So I'll see what I can do about getting a kill switch on one of my guitars. Also, practice performance skills. Not only don't just stare at your guitar emotionless. Kind of practice your guitar like you're going to be performing. And I think Paul Gilbert's a good example of that. He really puts a lot of emotion in his playing. I'm sure Buckethead does too. You might not be able to tell it behind his mask, but you can listen to it through his playing and music. And enjoy what you're doing when you're up on stage, or even in your own practice room. Even if no one's listening, play like someone is listening, and that might inspire you to continue playing the guitar and practicing more. So, kind of to wrap things up for now is, since you have time, don't waste it just watching streaming videos on your couch and eating pizza or whatever, or drinking. Go ahead and pick up your guitar and start playing. Talking about pizza and guitars, wash your hands before you play your guitar, especially if you be eating pizza or Cheetos. You don't want to get all that stuff on your strings and fretboard. And also, sharing guitars. These days, you may have second thoughts about passing your guitar along to someone else to try, or trying their guitars. I would say try to avoid doing that for now. And also, I just keep my guitars clean anyway, so I don't even like to play other people's guitars sometimes, and I try to avoid having other people play my guitar, because you don't know where their hands have been. And let's do all our individuals' part to fight this COVID-19 and be able to enjoy more important things in life like music and going out to concerts and watching these great guitar players play again on stage. It's great to see these guys perform, so hopefully we'll get to the point where we have control of this virus and be able to go out and see these guys play again. Okay, well, that's it for now. If you can subscribe and like, I'd appreciate it. That'll motivate me more to make more videos, and if I can get 1,000 subscribers, I'll show you my technique of intonating the guitar. Also, I have a PayPal link. I'd like to get some better equipment to make more effective videos. And well, anyway, you guys take care, and ladies, take care, and I'll see you later.